Hello everyone, welcome to ZPB Public Blockchain. Today we shall have a tutorial on how to create a node on our Linux system using binaries. Let me give you an overview. Firstly, I will demonstrate to you on how to install and run Go on our Linux system. Next, we shall download and execute the binaries and then start the REST server on a particular port. Lastly, we shall be creating an account. For the same, let us navigate to the documentation section. Here, you can click the Join ZPB platform link and access the new ZPB node on Linux system. Let us proceed to the first step. We need to firstly install and run Go on our system. We could follow the link here in order to install Go in our system. By clicking on Download Go link here, we could access the Linux link in order to download the tar file in our system. As I've already downloaded, I shall skip this step. We need Go in our system in order to run the binary files that will in turn enable us to run commands in order to initiate a node and eventually sync it with the ZPB public blockchain. After downloading the Go file, we will now extract it. We will be using the sudo tar command in order to extract the tar file into our user/local directory. Now let us run the command. After a few seconds, you may see that we have extracted the Go folder in our system. Let us verify the contents in our folder. As you can see that we have downloaded and extracted Go in our system. Now proceed to the next steps. We will be modifying our environment variables in order to point to Go. And for the same, we shall be running a few commands. Firstly, we shall be creating the go/bin directory. This is where you shall download and execute the ZPCLI and ZPD files. Next, you need to set the Go root to the same user/local path where you have downloaded your Go folder. In the next two steps, you shall be adding the path to the folder that you have just created and make it point to go/bin. And finally, you will be adding the collective path in the path variable. Next, you will be sourcing your bash profile. You need to be making all these changes to your bash profile so as to reflect on the environment variables. Now let us run the commands as is. Let us now verify if the path has been modified by running the echo path command. Here, as you see, our Go path has been appended to the path. Now, let us verify the Go version. Here, you can see that Go is now functioning on your system. As part of step number 2, we shall now click the link in order to download the ZPD, ZPCLI, the genesis.json and the persistent peers list file from here. As part of step number 3, you need to copy the ZPCLI and ZPD files from the link that you've just downloaded and paste them in the go/bin location where you have created in the first step itself. As you can see, this is the file I have downloaded. Over here, you can find all the mentioned files. You will be copying ZPCLI and ZPD to the go/bin path. Coming to step number 4, you need to modify the files ZPD and ZPCLI and grant execute permissions to them. You can do that both ways, either from the command prompt or manually. Let me demonstrate you the first way. Here, by using the chmod ugo plus x command and then adding the file name, you could grant the permission to be executed. Let us verify the same. Here, for the ZPCLI file, as we can see that all the execute commands are checked. Now, let us do the same for ZPD. You can manually grant permission access to be executed over here. Now, we are ready to initiate the node by executing the ZBD init command and providing a custom node name and the chain ID as ZPB mainnet-1. Let us run the command. As you see, the node has been successfully initiated. A small pointer here is that whenever you are executing a ZBD command, please ensure that you are within the go/bin folder where you have the binary files. Let us now proceed to step number 5. To make the node as part of the chain, we need to make some modifications. Firstly, we will be changing the genesis.json file. For that, we'll be navigating to the ZBD config folder. Now, we shall run the rm genesis.json &wget and the https command in order to update the genesis file. As you can see, the genesis.json file has been successfully modified. As part of step number 6, we will be updating the config.toml file, which is the same file that is present here. Let us update the config.toml file. Here, you could navigate to the seed node and update the same. I'm updating this address as the seed node. I have now saved the changes. We may now proceed to step number 7, where we could configure the ZB CLI in order to eliminate the need to provide the chain ID flag every time. This is an optional step. I shall anyway execute the commands as is and demonstrate it to you. As I had mentioned before, we need to always navigate to the go/bin folder and execute the commands where the binaries are present. We are now in the correct folder. Let us now execute the zbcli config command. Next, we shall be executing the zbcli config output JSON command. Now, coming to the next command, we will be setting the ident to true. And finally, let us execute the command to set the trust node to true. As part of the 8th step, we need to run this step before we can go ahead and execute the REST server. Firstly, we need to be generating a private key file and a certificate file which are used as inputs to start the REST server. You will be using the command. Here, first you will be navigating the zbd/config folder, and then you're going to create a directory called SSL certificates. And then you are going to use the OpenSSL command in order to generate the key file and the cert.pem file. In this command, you can make certain customizations. You can provide your own name for the directory and also change how many days the certificate file is valid for. You could even give your own names for the key file and a cert file. Let us now execute the command. Here, you'll be prompted for certain details. You could either leave them blank or customize the responses. In my case, I shall be entering a few inputs. Let us see if the files have been generated. As you see, we do have the key file and the cert file. Let us now exit this directory and make space for the next command. Coming to step number 9, we shall now start the REST server. By running it in no-hub mode, we can ensure that the REST server will be running in the background. Now, we shall supply the cert file and the key file that we have generated previously, and then give the chain ID as ZPB mainnet1. Here, we are giving the port number as 1317. Please note that you could give it any customizable port number as you wish, but you should just ensure that the port is open on your system and is not blocked by any firewall. Now finally, in order to know the status of the REST server, we are outputting it to the rest_log.out file. You may read this file anytime you want to know the status of your REST server. Let us now run the command. I will now have exited the ZPB path and I will be running the command in go/bin folder. Let us check the rest_log.out file. You may use tail rest_log.out in order to check the status. As you know, the REST server has been started. As part of step number 10, you'll be using a command in order to create an account and provide a customized username and password. You'll be using the curl command in order to do the same. Let me first show you this in a notepad file. Here, you'll be giving a custom username and a custom password. Finally, you will leave the mnemonic as blank. Let us execute this command now. Now, you have successfully created your account. The response that you get contains the name, account address, the public key, the validator address, and so on. You even have the mnemonic, which is a set of words that you will be using in order to recover your account. Please note that this is very crucial information and is very confidential and needs to be accessed by you at all times. In case you lose this information, you are prone to losing all your coins and tokens as well. So you have to be very careful and save it at a safe place. As part of the 11th step, you can now configure your config.yml file in order to add any of the custom persistent peers. Let me show you. Here, you could add any of the seed nodes or the persistent peers over here. Please note that whenever you're adding multiple peers, ensure that there are no spaces between them and they are comma separated values and the last value does not have a comma. As part of the 12th step, we need to run the ZPB start command in order to start syncing your node to the public blockchain. We need to provide the gas price as input. Whenever a transaction is to be accepted into the blockchain, a certain amount of fee is charged, which is known as the gas price. This is the source of income, and whenever a transaction is accepted, some amount of tokens are distributed among all the validators which have accepted the transaction. This is the source of revenue within the network. Let us now run the command with 500 ZPB as gas price. In order to run the node persistently, we will be running it on the no-hub mode. We will be generating the output in a logs.txt file, and we could read this file in order to know how far the node has been synced up with the chain. As you see, the logs.txt file has been generated. You may now check the status of your node to see how far it has been synced up with the blockchain by reading the output of the logs.txt file. You can do the same by using the tail command. Here, you could see that the height is around 2,56,303. By referring to the latest block height on our ZPB blockchain website, we can see that the latest block height is at around 2,56,305. Please note that every 5 seconds a new block keeps getting created. So even if your digit is anywhere close to the actual block height, you can now know that the status has been synced up. You have now reached the end of the tutorial. Thank you.